Okay, so why don't I go ahead and just mention that this is an open forum and that we're going to conduct the company conference call on Discord. So we are going to open it up for me to be interrupted at any point in time with anyone that has any questions. And I'm also going to go over the section questions from the trader base that today include 6 questions. But of course, anyone can ask follow-on questions or interject with additional questions at any time. So as we go through the updates, we'll have more people join the call. So I might remind everyone throughout the call that anyone is allowed to participate, and it's an open forum at any time. So first off, we'll start with what's happening around the globe. And we've had one exciting thing slightly related to us. I could say directly related to us. That is the Mars Perseverance rover landed on Mars successfully, and our name was on a nameplate there with 10.9 million other names, and we thought that was mentionable. The variants of the virus seem to be spawning in South Africa more so than anywhere else, but on a global basis, things seem to be contained. And the markets are reflecting that in the way that they're pretty much flatlining with the expectation of the stimulus packages and what everyone else is thinking about related to all the cash on the sidelines that is waiting to invest, from consumers to corporations, invest in essentially what is a new economy. On the industry side, we've got Datasets, NLP, NLU, AI, ML. Things continue to heat up, and BTC hit a high, I think, of 57 or 58K. It's been moving so fast, it's hard to keep up with. ETH went over 2K, and Janet Yellen cooled things a bit with a few of her comments that anyone can do research on at any time. On the themes and events side, there's a group we're talking to that's looking at long-term themes. And long-term themes would be baskets that you'd hold for 6 months, a year, 2 years, similar to maybe an ARK ETF, where you've got a long-term horizon in terms of your expectations on return. And speaking of ARK Invest, they bought over 5 million Palantir shares. And that's relevant to what we do as we operate in the same space. On the corp side, underneath corp, we've got HR activities, and that includes hiring another NLP data engineer. And we've also got more work to do on the community FAT, and that relates to our token model, our utility token model, and the things that you can do with VXV connected to baskets, whether it's reselling them or leasing them, licensing them as they produce alpha, or as you might have configured a data set or created a data set or designed one that produces an amount of alpha that's high value, and you'd like to enable other groups, maybe other funds or investment clubs or individual traders to use this data set. You could lease it out, for example. So we'll describe more about that side of our tokenomics in the fact. On the engineering, product, and ops side, I mentioned we've got new hire onboarding happening, and that includes a lot of ramp up and side-by-side onboarding in terms of getting our new hires familiar with our software architecture and our sandboxed environments and source trees and everything. And we still continue a lot of work on the vector optimization pipeline. That's the VOP. And that's our overarching pipeline, data engineering pipeline that from end to end takes in customized data sources, and at the very end produces correlation matrix data sets with clusters that can be used as baskets or to develop or to generate new hypotheses. On the customers, partners, and collaborators side, everything is ongoing. There's not much that has changed since last week. as we've been pretty much nose to the grindstone on a lot of engineering issues. We do have a couple of meetings with a couple of institutions this week that we haven't talked to the public about yet. And one of those relates to a large investment firm. We will provide the public with updates as things shape up with that group. That group, by the way, invested in Slack and Databricks. We're also meeting with another group, Hudson Trading, and this group is a pretty large firm that is interested on Datasets, so we'll let everyone know how that dialogue goes. Our continued focus, though, is S&P Global, Cloud Quant, and GNC. Our priority focus, I should say. Sales and marketing continues to be throttled. We have plenty to do. On the section questions from the trader base. So I'm going to handle this on the fly. I haven't looked at these questions yet, so might need to take a couple of seconds to assemble an answer or two here and there. With the first question, the first question is the team able to sell VXV tokens directly to the customers, or does the team have to use exchanges as middlemen? As the team isn't an exchange, and I don't know if there's some regulatory requirements involved. Okay, so yes, we are allowed to sell tokens directly. That would involve the over-the-counter process or the OTC process, the OTC transaction. And one of the reasons we are able to do that with a utility token is that it does operate as a usage credit for Datasets, and we can pre-sell usage credits or utility tokens. Second question, once the company starts making significant revenue other than expected price appreciation, will there be any sort of rewards or incentives for token holders? Rewards or incentives for token holders are access to datasets that make you money. The next question is, how have you fixed the price of your service? 99 cents. It seems cheap for hedge fund clients, but it's expensive for academic research. That's a question. I can't visualize the volume of dataset order needed, depending on task or whatever. Okay, so this is a question that was answered on the channel, and we've chosen the 99-cent range because that enables us to target the fat head and the long tail of customer bases across industries. The reason for that is an academic can afford 99 cents per month, and a hedge fund can also afford 99 cents per month, in addition to 99 cents per minute. And any hedge fund or asset management company, or if you are in research that requires near real-time correlation values or near real-time updates that provide you with an edge of some kind, you're going to want as many updates as possible. And if you're a hedge fund, you can afford 99 cents per minute per data set, per row, per column, per context type data source per minute. And that is expensive, or that would be expensive for an individual academic, because that would run you close to $150,000 a month. Next question. What is your vision for VXV from now and the next 2 years? In what direction would you like to see VXV go? So this was also on the channel. We would certainly like to go in the direction of space biosciences, because that represents one of the largest industries and most important industries to humanity. And that's where data sets can make a big difference. The next question. Do you have any information on S&P's crypto index? What cryptos are going to be listed there, and what are the chances of VXV getting listed too? Is this something you can talk about? This is something we can talk about. The only information we have on S&P's crypto index will come from our meeting with their crypto index group. We don't know when that meeting is. We We anticipate it'll be later this week, if not next week. And that's when we'll also find out what cryptos will be listed, what the qualifications are, and so forth. The next question is, how does the thematic basket notify us of a potential trade? And that was also just asked on the channel. And the answer is on the channel, related to access to our chat logs that describe historically how baskets were generated based on global events that pop up. So if you get a global event, if suddenly something hits the wires and there's an earthquake in Taiwan, you're going to insert the term earthquake and Taiwan into an interface that enables you to query the data set, and the data set will return a cluster or a basket of trade vehicles that you can use for short or long on. Next, we've got the exchanges side, and that's just steady as she goes for now. We've got IR, PR, and Marcom. Everything is on track there. We are in development mode, and we are in wait and see mode in terms of our meetings with S&P. We are not in wait and see mode in terms of our progress with CloudQuant. There we have to fill out a few other forms that enable us to describe our data sets in a bit more detail. And they're just waiting on that from us, so the ball's in our court, and we'll execute that by the end of the day tomorrow. On the strategy side, I've mentioned I have a note here on the community fact, so it's going to be modified. And then our focus will be on large institutional customers, followed by a retail focus. So our goal is to have 2 large institutional or enterprise announcements. Of course, that means after we've finished our dialogue and agreed on terms. And we've actually already agreed on terms. We just need to sew everything up in terms of structuring the communication and delivering on a bit of copy. After 2 large institutions, then we'll enable a focus on retail thematic baskets. So that's it for this abbreviated conference call, because we do have it live. I'll open it up to questions now, although it's been open for a while. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. We'll give it a few seconds. No questions? Okay. Thanks for joining, everyone. We'll see you next Monday.